Dude, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Electivire.
Mine's gotta be Baltoy. I love the spinny boys.
I like Ghastly because he's so powerful
true.
and so underrated in the actual, like, games.
Urine! Anyways. Good morning! Good night. Good night.
Evening.
Jesus Christ.
Good time.
Evening.
Hi, people. Today we're going to be doing a micro lecture on the lineup history of Dance Gavin Dance. I didn't know what else to write, so this is all we have. Anyways, so boys and girls, for a little background, Dance Gavin Dance is a progressive post-hardcore band that was formed in 2005. I forgot the exact year. 2005. They're really cool. That's all I'm going to say about it. They're really good. You should check them out. They're 10 albums deep right now, and they're 9 albums deep right now. They're going to be they're in the studio writing their 10th right now. You should check them out though if you fucking like.
By the time you're watching this, the 10th album's probably going to be out.
Maybe, perhaps, yeah, it'll probably be out by like 2022. I'm thinking. So, anyways, yeah, we're gonna be talking about the lineup history because it's really well known for like there's like a lot of people, and at this point the band is like a super group low key. So starting off in 2005, the original band. Now, if we all remember my screaming and music lecture, just letting you guys know, in the hardcore and metal scene, when we differentiate like different vocal styles, screaming is referred to as unclean vocals, and singing is referred to as clean vocals. So, for henceforth, when I say unclean vocalist or clean vocalist, unclean vocalist means the screamer, clean vocalist means the singer. They have different vocalists relegated to this. So, the original lineup in 2005 consisted of clean vocalist Johnny Craig, unclean vocalist John Mess, lead guitarist Will Swan, rhythm guitarist Alvaro Alcala, bassist Eric Lodge, and drummer Matt Mingus. So...
Mingus.
Yes. Yeah. So, together with this lineup, they put together literally like 2 demos. They put together like a 3-song demo and another one, and that was it. And then rhythm guitarist Alvaro Alcala of the band, so he's just kind of, we don't really fucking care about him, because he wasn't even on any of their actual releases. But then, 2006 happened, right? And they replaced Alvaro Alcala with Sean O'Sullivan on rhythm guitar.
Who is... Alvaro is the rhythm guitarist?
He's the original rhythm guitarist. But we don't really care about him too much because he was only there for the demos.
Okay.
Yeah, so he wasn't really there for any of their real.
So this isn't earth-shattering yet. This is a pretty standard thing for a band to do when they start getting bigger.
Yes, very normal actually. You'd
Okay.
be surprised.
I don't think I would because it's very normal.
It's any fucking ways.
Demerit, Roland.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I hope someone pees on you. Anyways, so starting off in 2006. The band they replaced the rhythm guitarist. That's all they've done so far. They put out 2 releases. A 7-song EP called Whatever I Say Is Royal Ocean, which is great. And then an album called Downtown Battle Mountain. And at this point in the band's career, they were like, just kind of like your basic, like, kind of proggy, like think like Rush or Pink Floyd mixed with like Under Oath. I don't know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, but those bands. So
I know one of them.
Yeah. Google. So they're kind of just sounding like a mix of those 2 like genres, very kind of emo-y with like some like poppy influences here and there. The lead singer Johnny Craig is also has like a R&B singer kind of tone to his voice. It's pretty swag. He's very special. We'll talk about him in a little while. So they
got 10 minutes.
Yeah, they put out these first 2 releases, right, and then disaster struck, right? Sean O'Sullivan leaves the band after the very first album. This is their rhythm guitarist.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how important is he to the musical contributions of the band?
Not. Pretty much all the guitar is written by Will Swan.
Okay, so
except
this
for where I note.
So this isn't huge yet.
Not huge
This is
yet.
just emotionally hard on the band, but we're not affecting...
Kind of, ish, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. So, next, right? So, their rhythm guitarist leaves, and they have a, trying to look at this. They replaced him, like, immediately in 2007. No. Yeah, 2007. They replaced him with another guy named Zachary Guerin, who is the guitarist for an instrumental prog rock band called Strawberry Girls. But at the time he wasn't. Do you know who Strawberry Girls are? Yeah, he's the guitarist for that band.
Oh, okay.
Now. He wasn't then, but he is now.
Okay.
So, he became their rhythm guitarist for a little bit. And with this current line, well, okay, so after he joined, and then a little bit after Zachary joined the band, their clean vocalist, Johnny Craig, the R&B dude I was talking about, he left the band. He was actually kicked out of the band for a very bad history with substance abuse, which will come into play later. It's a very long history with substance abuse.
So he just got kicked out of the band?
Yes. Okay. And he is immediately replaced. They had an audition thing with like a bunch of different people. Like Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens was like auditioned.
And what year is this?
All kinds of different people. This is 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was 7.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
All the way so he leaves, but basically after all this auditioning, they had this guy named Kurt Travis become the clean singer. He was formerly the lead vocalist for another post-hardcore band called A Lot Like Birds. That's what they were called. And so he joins the band, and together now with their new clean singer and their new rhythm guitarist, they put out their second album, and it's called Dance Gavin Dance. It's a self-titled album. Bands do that a lot. I don't know why. But so they put that out, but just before the album comes out, unclean singer John Mess leaves the band. He was like integral to their sound. Like he literally has the most unique vocals in post-hardcore music.
And what is his role in the band?
He screams.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is their first big loss.
Yeah, in my opinion at least, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'd say Johnny Craig was equally as big, but they replaced him with Kurt Travis. So Kurt Travis at the time was notable for being in A Lot Like Birds, and then he moved into Dance Gavin Dance, so like we knew who he was at least. But John, you can't replace John.
Okay.
But they tried, right? But instead of replacing him, their lead guitarist, Will Swan, took up screaming duties. So now they have, basically the lineup at this current point is you have Kurt Travis singing, Will Swan screaming and doing lead guitar, Zachary Guerin doing rhythm guitar, Eric Lodge doing bass, and Matt Mingus doing drums.
And how are we musically at this point? Like, are we doing well?
About the same. Yeah, nothing has really changed yet. It changes more in the next album I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
But guess what? Their bassist leaves.
Oh.
By Eric Lodge. Yeah, and they replace him with this other guy named Jason Ellis, right? So that's really all that. So now the bassist is different too. And with this, literally like a year exactly, almost like a year after they released their second album, they put out their third album, Happiness. This is where their sound kind of changed because Zachary Guerin was a lot more influential on like the guitar writing, and it is funky as fuck. It's like post-hardcore and like proggy like weird instrumental shit, but then it also has like funk rock influence, like Red Hot Chili Peppers type shit, and it's sexy. I fucking hate Red Hot Chili Peppers, but Happiness is a good album. Anyway, I'm gonna get like hate in the comments for that one. Anyways.
You're about to get hate from behind the camera.
Can you get
he likes Red Hot. Oh, fuck.
Wait, can you give a brief rundown on why you hate Red
It's just
Hot
not
Chili
my
Peppers?
thing. I'm not a big fan of like the whole funk rock thing they do. It's just not really my thing. They have like some catchy-ish
That's very
songs.
understandable.
It's just not my thing, really. It's too like I guess poppy for my taste. But the combination that they did with Happiness, I like that because it's like emo-y. It's
Yeah,
good.
legit.
So I fuck with Happiness. It's really good.
I like that adjective.
Emo-y. I don't even know how else to describe it.
Emo-y.
It has it's post-hardcore. Ed likes the Fall of Troy. He knows what I'm talking about.
Fuck yeah.
So this happens, right? They put out this album, and guess what? Their bassist leaves again.
Whoa.
Jason Ellis is now gone and gets immediately replaced with another guy named Tim Feerick. He becomes important later, but right now we don't give a fuck.
How many replacements are we at this point?
A bunch. I haven't really counted actually. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
All right.
6 different people. We're at our third bassist now.
Let's go.
So at this point, right, they bass. So at this point in the band, we have Kurt Travis on clean singing, Will Swan on screaming and lead guitar, Zachary Guerin on rhythm guitar. We have Tim Feerick on bass and Matt Mingus on drums. Tim Feerick leaves the band, and in around 2011 he leaves the band.
So this is all over the course of 6 years.
Yes.
Okay.
So Tim leaves the band, right? But actually, I'm not even done. Tim leaves the band, Zachary Guerin leaves the band, and Kurt Travis all leave the band. So we're now
who
out.
is
Do
left
we,
from the
even
original?
do we even have a band left?
We're
Do we
gonna
have
get
any
to
original members left?
No, but we're about to.
Okay, one last question.
Yeah.
Is there any specific reason why they left the band, or is it just they
no,
were
there's
pursuing
no
different
specific
things?
reasons for. So the majority reason is I'm gonna get into it in a second.
Okay.
So basically, the original members of the band, right? The original screamer, John Mess, and the lead guitarist, Will Swan, and the drummer, Matt Mingus, came together and they said, we really want to get the old lineup back together. So they did. They just did it. Literally, so they made everyone else leave the band, and they brought back Johnny Craig to do singing. They brought back John to do screaming. They brought back, their old guitarist, Sean O'Sullivan, is the only person that they didn't bring back. He did play a couple live shows with them in Sacramento, which is where they're from. But that was it. He didn't actually join the band or have any actual impact on the writing.
So fuck the new band members essentially.
Yeah, sorry to ask another clarifying question, but the new band members, did they just form their own band and keep going, or did they break up after?
No. So what happened was Kurt Travis left and rejoined A Lot Like Birds. Zachary Guerin left and started Strawberry Girls.
Oh, okay.
And Tim Ferrick did nothing, but he will do something later.
Oh.
So now we have the original lineup. Literally, it's all the original members except for and no rhythm guitarist and.
But he was only in the demos anyway, so that's not a huge.
Yeah, and it's not even they have no rhythm guitarist. It's just Will on this one.
Okay.
So then they use this one to create their fourth album, Downtown Battle Mountain 2. It's like a sequel because it's like the sequel to the first one. Yeah. So they do this right, and then everything gets fucked up again. Johnny has more substance problems. There's a whole Twitter beef and shit that you can look up, and he gets kicked out again. It was really iffy for a while, yeah, because there was whole fucking shit, and he had actual beef with the members too. It's fucking crazy. So he leaves the band again. He leaves the band again. Eric Lodge, the bassist, leaves the band again. So now it's literally just John screaming and Will doing lead guitar. I should mention, by the way, he didn't do vocals on their fourth album. He did rapping on one song, but that's it. He didn't do any screaming. He only did screaming on their third album, Happiness. And then, yeah. So literally at this point, it's just three dudes. It's the screamer, the guitarist, and the drummer. But then, they were basically contemplating at this point just breaking up. Because they were like, what the fuck? But then they didn't, right?
Why?
No reason.
Okay.
Money, perhaps? I don't know. But so...
No, I really do like money.
What happens, right, is... So while all this fucking drama was going on with, Johnny leaving the band again, and their, all their member changes and shit, right before Downtown Battle Mountain 2 came out, he didn't actually write anything on it, but he did join the band before it came out. They got a new rhythm guitarist named Josh Benton, right, who... He wasn't really noteworthy at the time. Nowadays, he's a producer, but that's whatever. So he joins the band as their rhythm guitarist, and they also, now at this point, they have a new rhythm guitarist. To round out their lineup, they have to find a new clean vocalist and a new bassist. So on bass terms, they get their old bassist, Tim Ferrick, to come back. He was the guy who played live with them after Happiness came out, which was their third album. And so Tim Ferrick comes back, right? And that's why he's important now. This lineup that is about to be created is their current lineup. After this lineup happened, they had no more lineup changes throughout their career. Literally, they have the same lineup now that they've had since 2013? Okay. So this lineup that we're at currently right now started at 2013 and is like that now. Basically, they've kept the same lineup since 2013. We have Will Swan on lead guitar, we have Josh Benton on rhythm guitar. Okay, well actually it did change a little bit, but we'll get to that. We have Josh Benton on rhythm guitar, we have Tim Ferrick on bass, and Matt Mingus on drums, and we have John Mess on screams. So who does clean vocals? Tillian Pearson, former vocalist and guitarist for post-hardcore band Tides of Man. There was a whole drama with that thing too that I haven't even looked into. But he joins Dance Gavin Dance, right? And basically from this point on, their sound kind of fluctuates. It goes from mostly the first album that they did with Tillian was kind of it just sounded like Downtown Battle Mountain 2, but with Tillian on it instead of Johnny. And John, the screamer, had way better screaming vocals. But as they moved on, it got they adjusted their writing to Tillian's vocal style a little bit more. He's very poppy sounding, very high pitched, and so that's how they basically were imagine the proggy post-hardcore sound, and now it's poppy too. It's really pop oriented in its structure.
Two questions.
Yeah.
One, is this new pop style received well?
Yes and no. It's received well by the people that are currently fans of the band, the newer fan, because it skyrocketed their popularity. Once Tillian joined the band, it skyrocketed their popularity. They became huge. The older fans, though, a lot of older fans are very biased, mostly towards the era with Johnny Craig.
What camp are you in?
I'm Team Tillian. I love all their music, But I prefer Tillian, I guess maybe because that's what I was introduced to them with, because that's where they are now. But I think Tillian, I think their songwriting has become much better since Tillian.
And who is writing the song? Is it the band members writing the songs, or do they have any association with any major firms?
No, well, that's actually something I want to talk about too. So they do actually just write their own shit, right? Like they don't have ghostwriters. But what I was going to talk about, right, is after Acceptance Speech, which was the album that came after Downtown Battle Mountain 2. It was the first release that they had with the current lineup that they have to this day. After that album came out, their rhythm guitarist Josh Benton left the band. So they were again left without a rhythm guitarist. So instead of replacing him, to this day still, they have just gotten studio people to come in and write rhythm guitar parts with Will Swan, the lead guitarist. So they've had a bunch of different ones. They've had mostly like people from other bands. The three like main ones that they've done, they had Zachary Guerin, their former rhythm guitarist, come in to do rhythm guitar for them. They just don't play with them like live or like in the studio or like in music videos or anything. They just write the shit in the studio. They had Zachary Guerin come in to do stuff. They have Martin Bianchini, who is also the guitarist for another band called Secret Band that I'll talk about. And they also have who's the other guy? Andrew Wells, who is the vocalist for a band called Idola. He does some rhythm guitar stuff too. And they've had a bunch of other dudes come on too, like God, okay.
Rolling. Action.
Hey! So, Sergio Medina. So I was talking about the rhythm guitarists. Sergio Medina is one of the other guys. He is the guitarist for so many bands. So is Will Swan, but we'll get into that in a second.
Anything I would know is like a casual metal fan.
It's not really metal. That's the thing. It's a different scene. It's like the post-hardcore scene and like hardcore scene. It's actually post-hardcore in and of itself is like actually not even. So this whole progressive post-hardcore thing has become its own scene, and it's referred to as Swancore because their lead guitarist Will Swan like pioneered the whole bitch. So they call it affectionately. They refer to it as Swancore. So it has like its own scene with all these bands, and like Will Swan has his own like record label with like bands on it. Like it's literally its own scene, to be honest. But so yeah, Sergio Medina was another rhythm guitarist they worked with. They worked with Louis Baltazar of Wolf and Bear. I forget his name, but the guy from Hail the Sun. They've worked with a lot of people. Probably stuff that you wouldn't know, but like stuff I know. So now what I'm going to talk about...
I'm not cool enough.
Huh?
I see, I'm just not cool enough for this
lecture. It's okay, you tried your best. It's alright. You won't get a demerit yet. But so, now I'm going to talk about... So, remember how earlier I said that like the band at this point is basically a supergroup? Mm-hmm. Literally that, it's so true. So many people in these bands are connected to so many other bands that it's insane. Specifically, I really want to talk about Will Swan and Sergio Medina, because holy fuck. Anyways... Let's go back to the beginning, right? Johnny Craig, drug addict guy. Basically, so after he quit Dance Gavin Dance, right, or was fired, however you want to fucking look at it.
Twice.
He went, twice. We'll get into that too, right? So he basically, to put it in short terms, he leaves Dance Gavin Dance. He joins another post-hardcore band called Emarosa as the lead vocalist. He then gets kicked out of that band for drug abuse problems. And then he rejoins Dance Gavin Dance, like I said earlier, when
for
they made
third time.
Downtown. Well, this is the second time that he came back at Downtown Battle Mountain 2, right? Then he gets kicked out / leaves that band too, and then he forms his own band called Slaves, and then gets kicked out of his own band like at some point for drug abuse problems. They literally put out like a whole thing online saying like, yeah, we're sorry, we have to part ways with him because we can't have this for our branding. It was a whole shit. So yeah, so now Johnny Craig just makes his shitty R&B solo music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we know how serious his drug problems are?
Bad. Literally, like the band formed in 2005, and he's had problems with it. Literally, ever since then. Probably before.
Okay,
that,
so
too.
this isn't people overreacting. He has like serious.
Yes. In addition to that, there's also T. If you'd like to hear about that, like really bad things he's done. So. He fucking basically he's also had like sexual abuse allegations and shit thrown at him, all kinds of shit. But the most amazing thing that he did was the MacBook scams.
What the fuck are MacBook scams?
Yeah.
He basically went online and he claimed that he had 100 MacBooks that he was selling online. And in addition to this, on the side, he was also offering like online music, like vocal lessons and stuff. So he was offering all this to his fans, right? And people were buying. They were like, okay, we're gonna buy the MacBooks. We're gonna buy the vocal lessons. Long story short, all this gets sold, and he just keeps the money. And nobody got a MacBook. Nobody got a vocal lesson. He just keeps the money, and that's it.
The fuel was drug addiction.
Yeah. So, and at the time when this was happening, he was still in Dance Gavin Dance, right? Yes, to fuel his drug addiction. He was still in Dance Gavin Dance, and this is, I think, was also part of the reason why he was kicked out, because literally the record label, Rise Records, went out of their way to reimburse everyone who was affected by this and give them money, and then they basically were like, "Fuck you, Johnny! Like, get the fuck out." They even kicked out, like, his solo music was signed to that label too, and they kicked him off that too. Like, they literally were just
Wow.
like, yeah,
Okay.
like he fucked up really bad. So like now everyone talks about it. Like still to this day, if you bring up Johnny Craig, someone in the comments will be like, "MacBook." It's so bad. Like, it's so awful. But yeah, so Johnny Craig is generally known to be like an asshole. Like, he's not a good guy. But so yeah, there was all that shit, right? In addition to that, let's see, who else can I talk about? Kurt Travis, right? Kurt Travis, their second clean vocalist. He was in a band called A Lot Like Birds, then left that band to be in Dance Gavin Dance. Then after he left Dance Gavin Dance because he got kicked out because they wanted to have the original lineup back, he went back into A Lot Like Birds, right? Then leaves A Lot Like Birds again, and now currently he's in another band called Royal Coda. We'll talk about them in a second, because guess who is in Royal Coda? Will Swan and Sergio Medina.
Whoa!
Yeah,
You've come
yeah.
full circle.
We're not even done yet. Because guess what, right? I don't even know how to explain this. It's so fucking mathy. So Kurt Travis and Will Swan and Sergio Medina are all in that band, right? Their third clean vocalist, the one they currently have, Tillian Pearson, used to be in a band called Tides of Man, but that was really it. That was the only band he was really in. John Mess, the screamer dude, he is in a side project band with Will Swan and drummer Matt Mingus and studio rhythm guitarist Martin Bianchini. It's basically Dance Gavin Dance. But not. Basically, they have a bassist, his name's Jordan, whatever the fuck, I don't remember what his name is. But basically, it's Dance Gavin Dance, but heavy. Like, they basically, there's no singing whatsoever. It's literally just John screaming. I should mention that an aspect of their music is that John's lyrics are nonsensical, completely nonsensical. He just screams random shit in rhythm. And occasionally there's like weird, like really deep metaphors. It's fucking amazing. So this band was basically like John's catharsis, if you will. It literally was like, okay, I had to write poppy shit for a while, and now I'm gonna fucking lose my mind over this crazy shit.
How did the fans react to this?
Oh, they fucking lost their minds. We're so happy. Like,
Is it still like fans happy and mass populace happy with this?
Yes, because like, I guess it applies to like the older people, the sound people who like the older sound too. Because the older sound was a little bit more like John's older vocals were more like he was like nowadays he does like proper fry vocals, if you remember from my lecture, my other
Screaming and music.
Yeah.
You should watch that lecture if you haven't yet.
Yeah.
What else are you doing with your life?
Shameless plug.
Yo, put your hands up just like.
So now he does like his fry vocals or whatever, but back then he literally just fucking yelled. Like that was his vocals. That's it. That's all he did. And he would just yell fucking nonsense. And it was great. So this was like the fans wanting something like heavier out of Dance Gavin Dance, and they got it. So
What year is
Band.
this?
Secret Band, I think, came out in the same year that Acceptance Speech came out, which was the first year that we have the current lineup. Josh Benton was there, but
Oh.
yeah. So yeah, this is the year that Josh Benton. It was that whole the current lineup that they made it, and then John and Will and Matt and Martin and the fucking other guy bassist all came together and they made Secret Band. So hey, what's up?
Heyo.
So basically, right, they do that, right? We have an intruder. We have an intruder. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine.
What are you talking about?
Dance Gavin Dance.
Cool.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Gay screamo music. Yeah. Anyways, so where was I? So okay. Okay, I was talking about Secret Band. Okay, so that's a whole thing, right? Will fucking Swan is in like 4 bands. Like currently, like not like he used to be. He's currently in 4 bands. He does guitar in Dance Gavin Dance, Secret Band, Royal Coda, and he's also the lead guitarist for a band called Cian Bar.
How involved is he in all of these bands?
Not. He,
Okay.
like Dance Gavin Dance is it, but they're all active projects. He just kind of like fluctuates between them.
Yeah.
Dance Gavin Dance is what he's currently involved with. Royal Coda is like
Currently as of when? Because when this lecture comes out, it might be later than now.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, he'll probably still be involved in Dance Gavin. Like I said, they're in the process of writing their 10th studio album right now. So
Okay.
Yeah, no singles have come out yet, but they're in the process of writing it. But yeah, Royal Coda is like he like just joined Royal Coda like last year. Excuse me. He just joined Royal Coda last year. Secret Band just put out an LP, I think in 2019. So Secret Band is just kind of like a side project. It comes out every now and then. And Cian Bar is actually on hiatus right now. So yeah, actually I guess maybe it's not that big of a deal. But then you have Sergio Medina, who is also the rhythm guitarist for Cian Bar, Royal Coda. He did studio rhythm guitar for Dance Gavin Dance on their latest album. He has writing credits on 3 songs, I believe. And he also used to be the rhythm guitarist and vocalist for a band called Nova Charisma. And I think that's it. Yeah. So, and in addition to this, there's, the dog is staring through the window. There's also another guy, right? There's this other post-hardcore band called Hail the Sun. And Hail the Sun is really good, by the way. But their vocalist, Donovan Maliro, is the vocalist for Nova Charisma with Sergio Medina, and is also the vocalist for Cian Bar with Will Swan and Sergio Medina. Will Swan and Sergio Medina are the guitarists for like 3 bands. Like they write guitar for like 3 different bands basically. Royal Coda and fucking Cian Bar. And wait, actually that's it. But they also wrote stuff on their Dance Gavin Dance's newest album, right? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Zachary Guerin is in Strawberry Girls now. He also has solo music. I think that's all the things I can talk about. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. But yeah, I don't really know how to end this or conclude this because
This has been Dance Gavin Dance with Shaka University.
Did Gavin ever dance by the end of this?
They just recently answered that, right? Because when the question everyone's asked
It's
is,
not
who
over.
the fuck is Gavin, right? And they just recently said that so they have the album cover of their newest album, Afterburner. There's a big ass cow robot on it, and that's Gavin. Yeah! We'll have to put a picture. But yeah,
Camera
that's
just
Gavin.
broke. So that's fun.